Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I thought I would do something a little bit different and take you along with me as I prepared my March bullet journal. I've been bullet journaling for about 4 years now, and I began because I couldn't find any planner that tracked everything in one place. I track all of our homeschooling, I like to track my workouts, daily gratitude, plus, normal calendar stuff, and then blogging and now YouTube, so it's really helpful for me to have everything all in one place. So when I am doing this, I typically go ahead and trace everything out in pencil, and then I go ahead and mark over it with a pen when I'm sure that I have everything kind of the way that I want it. My bullet journal is far from perfect. As you can see, I do not use a ruler or anything like that. So my lines aren't always perfectly straight, but for me, it's about functionality over perfection. And also it's very stress reducing for me to go ahead and do all this. It really is so relaxing to me. So I use an A for bullet journal rather than the typical A5 size because I need more space, especially when I'm tracking everything we do for our homeschool day. I, in these monthly spreads, do a full calendar, and then right now I'm actually doing a habit tracker. So each day I complete one of these habits, I go ahead and color in a day, and it's very motivating to help me and also a reminder. And it's very helpful because I also will color in school days that we do, so it helps me know how many numbers of homeschool days that we got in. So that's really helpful as well. The supplies that I use, I will go ahead and link in the description in case you're interested, but I use micron pens. These right now in the habit tracker, I used a fine micron pen, which is a 005, but I also use the 05 for thicker lines. I also use Tombow dual brush pens for the color. Sometimes I use Prismacolor colored pencils as well, but I've mostly used the brush pens this time, and I went with the pastel palette for most of the colors because it's feeling like spring. I am working on a Dutch door right now. I've never done this before in a bullet journal, but I thought it would be kind of fun. So you cut part of the page out so you can see part of the other page when you turn the page, which you'll see what I'm talking about in a little bit if you're not familiar with that. So over here is where I go ahead and I plan some of our monthly things. So right now what I'm doing is our homeschool planner. So I go ahead and kind of plan out a little bit what I want to do for each subject for each week. I included 5 weeks because since the end of the month ends in the middle of the week, I went ahead and included that as a final week in this month. Sometimes I'll include it in the next month, but it just kind of depends. The book at the bottom here is where I can put different supplies that we will need and also book lists. So that's kind of a fun way of doing that. The next page that I'm working on, directly adjacent to this, is a new kind of page that I have never done before. I usually have like a little box where I list my TBR, but this time I went ahead and actually made a little TBR shelf, which is kind of cute. So that's what I'm doing right now, the book's there. And then I also have a box at the bottom that I'm going to do for planning all my YouTube videos, and it will have like a checkbox for when I have recorded it and then once it's been edited and uploaded. And then the bottom box is for my blog. I have not been super consistent about blogging lately. I've gotten really excited about YouTube, so I've been spending more time on there. So I really want to spend more time working on blogging stuff. So I hoped that if I went ahead and wrote down just different ideas for that maybe it would motivate me a bit more. So as you can see here, it's not super decorative. I mean, there's lots of pretty colors, but sometimes I draw a lot on my layouts, and sometimes I draw almost nothing and focus more on color. It kind of depends on the mood I'm in or how much time that I have. My weekly spreads for this month are actually a lot more decorative than the monthly spread. So here is my weekly spread right here. I include full spaces for every day rather than some people will just put the weekend, but sometimes we do school on Saturdays, which is really strange, but my husband often has a day off during the week, and works every single Saturday. So that's we often do school on Saturdays. Despite the fact that there was snow on the ground when I made this, I was definitely feeling in the springy mood, as you can see with the tulips, and there are pretty much flowers on almost every single weekly layout in this section. So I was definitely feeling the spring mood, and a few days later all the snow melted, so I'd like to call that prophetic. Probably not. But anyways, I like to also include spaces for our menu for the week, and I also put like a little thing on there. I write blessing on the side, so every day I can write a daily blessing. And not only does this help me look for the good in every single day, even the mundane days, but also when I do monthly wrap-ups at the end, I can kind of remember what happened throughout the month. So that's kind of nice. I went with inspirational quotes that inspired me and made me either think of spring or growth or new life. And again, included flowers in a lot of the layouts. This one actually might be my favorite, I'm not sure, or the last one. There will be slow panning at the end so you can see how everything turned out more detailed. I also like to color code our days, which sounds super OCD, but it's not. It just helps me look back on it better. So I will do like to-do lists in blue, and then green is for our completed school. I do plan out at the beginning of the month, like I said, but I also plan from behind day to day. So rather than having a daily checklist, I just write what we did for each day, and then since it's all in green, it's really easy for me to look back on it. So here is just, I guess, a walkthrough of what the final product looks like. My monthly spread with my habit tracker and all my other trackers, and then just kind of a close-up of the weekly ones. I ended up doing a time-lapse video for a lot of the weekly spreads, so those were kind of fast. So you will get a better look at them this time. So let me know what you thought of this video. If you liked this planning video, I find them really soothing to watch on YouTube. So maybe I will do some more, maybe do monthly ones so you can see what kind of themes I am going for. But yeah, let me know what you thought of this video.